At this stage, still ongoing, what's your take on who might be with this? Is this necessarily an IS attack, do you think?
It seems very likely that this is Islamic State. Obviously, it's very early stage. The incident still seems to be ongoing. But given where Islamic State is in terms of its current strategy and activity, they are probably the most likely perpetrator. Islamic State, as one of your previous speakers mentioned, is under extreme pressure in its self-declared caliphate in Iraq and Syria. And it's specifically for that reason that we're seeing this high tempo of attacks, both in Europe and in other parts of the world, in South Asia, in the Middle East and elsewhere, because the group is trying to appear as still a strong entity. Its recruitment is likely to suffer as its caliphate shrinks, because that is such a central part of its message, and hence it needs to do other things. And so, yes, the most likely perpetrator is Islamic State, but this obviously is still very early stage.
And so as we look at these pictures here tonight, you say it bears all the hallmarks of an IS attack, and this will be the latest in several over recent months. And what does this tell us about the way we're approaching security across Europe?
It's very difficult to try and confront this threat because it changes all the time. If we look at the Paris attacks, Islamic State sent trained militants back to Europe to carry out those attacks. But since then, its strategy has changed again. And in a number of recent attacks, it has used local sympathizers to carry out the attacks who themselves haven't had militant training. They've perhaps had contact with trained militants, some sort of sleeper cell, but it's been local sympathizers who've actually carried out the violence, and they're much more difficult to detect and disrupt. And it's that, combined with the fact that the tactics continually evolve and continually change, that makes it a very, very difficult thing to confront.